This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this evening, modified gazette for Rivers emergency rule stirs more reactions. Police bus car theft syndicate in Rivers State recover 22 stolen vehicles. Navy deactivates 71 illegal refining sites, seizes liters of stolen crude oil in Rivers State and other states. Fresh oil spill reported in Kana, Rivers State. On the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu reveals plan to take control of Gaza. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break. Welcome back. A legal practitioner, Mr. Ndamzi Ekulo, says President Bola Tinubu has no constitutional power to alter any part of the Constitution or existing state laws. Ekulo, in an interview with correspondent Emeka Otuka, said while Section 305 of the Constitution empowers the President to declare a state of emergency, it does not give him the authority to use executive orders to amend or suspend laws. He emphasized that only the National Assembly and state houses of assembly under Section 11 of the 1999 Constitution have the power to make or amend laws. He described the president's reported actions as executive overreach and must be discouraged in a democratic society.
President Bola Tinubu altering sections of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law Number 2 of 2018. It's totally not in consonance with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution. Section 305 talks about the powers of the president to declaring state of emergency. One can't find where any section in that 305 allows the president to use executive order to alter laws of the country. Only the National Assembly under Section 11 of the 1999 Constitution as amended can do that. So the action of the president is an executive overreach, a nullity, illegal and unconstitutional.
Also, a Port Harcourt-based lawyer, Dr. Kennedy Allen Wokoma, said the amendment of the RISIAC law is the duty of the National Assembly and not the president.
It's the National Assembly that would have done so. It's not for the president to unilaterally do so. If the Gazette, as it's seen, if it is indeed true, what it means is that you also usurping the legislative functions of the National Assembly that we are supposed to be making law for the state under the state of emergency. Because if not for the state of emergency, if there was a need to amend the RISEC law, it's the River State House of Assembly that would have done so. And that is highly unlawful.
Another lawyer, Festus Oguche, also spoke.
The president should be reminded that this is a constitutional democracy and what he is doing is unconstitutional and it's null and void. This has gone beyond the ordinary aberrations that we know of constitutional provisions to a democratically elected president to be effecting these things in the guise of a state of emergency. He altered the provisions of the administrator for the prompt termination of petitions and litigations under the sole administrator. I don't think that's the appropriate thing to do.
Also, Lagos-based political analyst Libros Oshoma says the National Assembly has a role to play if what is described as a modified gazette, which is being circulated on social media, is coming from the presidency. Mr. Oshoma spoke with correspondent Soibi Oruwari.
What is worth doing well. If you pass a resolution, a proclamation resolution to third of the National Assembly as set out in, section 3, subsection 3 of section 305, If there's anything supplementary to that proclamation, I also presuppose that it should pass through the National Assembly. Failure to so do, will put a big question mark in the validity of that supplementary and challenge.
Mr. Liberal Oshoma, who's also a lawyer, described as an afterthought the content of the yet-to-be-verified content of documents making rounds on social media.
Supplementary Gazette is an afterthought against the backdrop of the noise that this administrator does not have the power to conduct local government elections. Or also on the ground that conduct of the local government election has become necessary because some people felt, look, there's need for the powers that be to have their people at the grassroots level of governance in the River State. And if they leave that hanging, might also generate the same problem that led to crisis in River State. And that's why I said it's an afterthought.
As you may know, there is a report suggesting that President Tinubu has modified the powers of the sole administrator in Rivers State regarding the conduct of local government elections. According to the Federal Republic of Nigeria Official Gazette number 125, dated July 22, 2025, the President also granted the sole administrator powers to determine petitions and litigations arising within the emergency area. The Gazette reportedly suspended Section 2, Subsection 2, of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law number 2 of 2018, which covers the appointment of the RISIAC chairman and members, transferring that power to the sole administrator. To security matters now, the Rivers State Police Command says its operatives have busted a notorious interstate car theft syndicate, arrested 12 suspects and recovered 22 vehicles. The police public relations officer, SP Grace Iringekoko, in a statement said the breakthrough followed a report in September 2024 by one Enoch Daniel, who said his Toyota Hiace bus was stolen at a trailer park in Onei. SP Iringekoko said swift investigations by the command's C4I strike force and Octopus teams led to the arrest of two ex-convicts, 40-year-old John Amadi and 45-year-old Nna Goodluck. The two suspects confessed they were hired by one God's Power Okpa to snatch the vehicle using hammers and were paid 90,000 naira each. She said further investigation led to the arrest of other key suspects, including 35-year-old Yakubu Abdullah and 35-year-old Abdulkarim Saminu, who was caught with two stolen vehicles in Kano. Adamu Musa, a dismissed police officer from Akwa Ibom, found in possession of 11 vehicles. The statement said several other suspects were also arrested. The police said all suspects will be charged to court once investigations are concluded, while efforts are ongoing to arrest the ringleader and other fleeing members of the gang. The Nigerian Navy says its operatives deactivated 71 illegal refining sites and seized over 400,000 liters of stolen crude oil in Rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, and Akwa Ibom states last month. In a statement by the Director of Information, Commodore Aweyo Adam Saliu, said the successes were recorded during anti-oil theft operations by troops of Operation Delta Sanity. The Navy said the July operations led to the discovery and deactivation of 120 dugout pits and several illegal refinery camps. The federal government has dismissed 15 personnel of the Nigeria Correctional Service and demoted 59 others for various acts of misconduct and indiscipline. This was disclosed by the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire and Immigration Services Board under the Ministry of Interior, which reviewed 224 disciplinary cases involving correctional officers across the country. In a statement issued by the Public Relations Officer of the NCOS, Umar Abubakar, the decisions followed recommendations from the board's Disciplinary and General Purpose Committee after thorough investigations and adherence to due process. Still to come, fresh oil spill reported in Kana, River State. Stay tuned.
When in dire need of assistance or help within River State, please contact the Rivers Emergency Service with the following numbers: 0904 022 2281 or 0904 022 2283 or 0904 022 2285. These lines are for emergencies only. Call only when you're in need of assistance. Thank you.
This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. A fresh oil spill has been reported in Kia Community, Ken Kana district of Kana local government area, Rivers State. Community representatives confirmed the incident to our correspondent, but there's been no official word yet from the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, and no joint investigation team has arrived to determine the cause. Executive Director of the Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, Fineface Dumnamene, raised the alarm over the growing number of oil spills in Ogoniland. He warned that ongoing pollution could derail both the environmental cleanup and plans to resume oil exploration in the area.
The 25 to 30 years set aside within which the environmental remediation of Ogoni would have been completed according to the UNEP report of August 4, 2011 is that the cleanup cannot be complete within the next 30, 40 years. What was assessed on the ground by UNEP before predicting and projecting 25 to 30 years? We have discovered new sources of spill, and spills have been occurring. So I think that the Ogoni cleanup project is far from being over, and that is why I think emergency should be declared on the cleanup, more funds provided so that they can take steps to address issues of this nature.
Dr. Dumnamene said the latest spill was discovered by locals who noticed the contamination and sounded the alarm. He called for urgent action to stop further environmental damage.
The spill occurred in the Yola oil field, where we have 16 oil wells. And according to one of the traditional rulers who is in charge of one of the communities within the area, he said the spill occurred on oil well 4. And the spill occurred after many days of members of the community hearing pressure sound coming from the Christmas tree, which is the oil well head, that eventually leaked and caused the spillage in the entire area, and see the oil oozing out of the Christmas tree, polluting the entire area, damaging the sources of livelihoods of the people who are into fishing and farming. There hasn't been any joint investigation visit to the site.
The Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, has directed the Nigeria Civil Aviation Agency to place Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde Marshall, better known as K1 The Ultimate, on a no-fly list. Keyamo announced this in a post on his X handle on Thursday. Said the artist will be on the list pending full investigation over an incident involving him during boarding at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on Tuesday. The minister's directive was later conveyed to journalists by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at the NCAA, Michael Achumogu, during a press briefing in Abuja today. Achumogu said the musician will be blacklisted from flying within Nigeria for 6 months. He said the agency was writing to the Attorney General of the Federation and the Inspector General of Police to initiate legal proceedings against the musician. Recall that yesterday, a viral video showed where a value jet airplane nearly ran over veteran Fuji musician K1 The Ultimate at the Abuja airport while he was scheduled to board a morning flight from Abuja to Lagos on Wednesday. The flight crew members reportedly deboarded the singer after he allegedly violated aviation regulations. Enraged by the development, Kwam1 attempted to stop the aircraft from taking off by standing in front of it. A trending viral video on social media captured the moment he was nearly struck by the airplane after the pilot proceeded with takeoff, allegedly in breach of aviation safety rules. Young innovators from Rivers State, the Niger Delta, and across the country have taken center stage globally after the successful conclusion of the STEM Festival 2025 in Port Harcourt. The event, which attracted exceptional talents nationwide, ended with participants earning nearly $1 million in international university scholarships. 9 students from the top 3 robotics and AI teams were awarded $936,000 in 50% tuition scholarships to study at Anna Maria College in the United States, then to Rivers State, the South-South region, and Nigeria at the World Robot Olympiad International Finals, set to take place in Singapore. The festival was powered by a strategic partnership between STEM professionals, the Nigeria Computer Society, ArcLight Foundation, and the Rivers State ICT Department, alongside the Ministries of Education and Youth. Speaking on behalf of the organizers, Gabriel Musa Gabrams expressed deep pride, calling it a paradigm shift in youth development through STEM. A standout moment was the awarding of the festival's overall Best Solution of the Year to a team that developed a groundbreaking agricultural project aimed at improving food security across the nation. One of last year's scholarship recipients, Stephen Jude, is currently topping his cybersecurity class at the same U.S. university, further proving that Nigeria's talent can excel anywhere in the world. Organizers are now calling on government and corporate Nigeria to rally support for the young STEM ambassadors as they prepare to fly the country's flag in Singapore.
We are witnessing a paradigm shift. This is no longer just about theory. It's about our young people building tangible solutions for our future through STEM. This year in agriculture, education, and health, the nearly $1 million scholarship win to an American university by the top 9 students in robotics and AI, and the qualification for the World Robot Olympiad International Finals in Singapore are a testament to the genius that resides right here in Rivers State, the Niger Delta, and across Nigeria. We are showcasing Nigerian excellence to the world.
The West African Examinations Council, WAEC, has announced a temporary withdrawal of the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASSCE, result for school candidates due to the discovery of technical issues in the result release process. The council made this known in a statement issued by the acting head of public affairs, Moyoshola Adeshina, today. The statement said the decision followed an internal review which revealed glitches resulting from a recently adopted paper serialization system aimed at curbing examination malpractice. On the international scene, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he intends to take control of all of Gaza but does not want to keep it as he meets with his security cabinet to discuss a complete military takeover. The UN warns the move could risk catastrophic consequences and hostage families fear it could endanger their loved ones. But Israeli media say Netanyahu believes it is the only way to destroy Hamas and free hostages following the breakdown of ceasefire talks. On the news this evening, you heard modified Gazette for Rivers emergency rule is stirring more reactions. The police have uncovered car theft syndicate in Rivers State and recovered 22 stolen vehicles. The Navy has deactivated 71 illegal refining sites and seized liters of stolen crude oil in rivers and other states. Fresh oil spill has been reported in Kana, Rivers State. And on the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has revealed plan to take control of Gaza. The news was edited by Onyekachi Nwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.